The Clone Wars spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Jedi Knights, once keepers of peace, were now generals, leading troops in battles they had never been trained to fight. That was how Anakin Skywalker and Aayla Secura found themselves on Felucia, a steaming jungle world where separatists had seized control of vital trade routes. The planet's glowing fungi and choking vines made every step dangerous. Master Windu had given them joint command of their legions, the 501st and the 327th. Fighting side by side was not unusual for Jedi, but something about this pairing felt different. Anakin carried a storm within him, a mix of boldness and frustration. Aayla, calm but fierce, carried herself with quiet discipline. Where he was fire, she was water. At first, their partnership was only professional, training clones, pushing back droid lines one skirmish at a time. That changed during the ambush at the Fungal Plains. Their battalions were pinned down between swamp and ridge, trapped under heavy artillery. Aayla urged retreat, but Anakin shook his head. There's no time. If we fall back, they won't survive. He proposed a reckless plan, a charge through open ground to reach the droid command node, nearly suicidal. But Aayla met his eyes and nodded. I trust you. They cut a path together, sabers flashing, force blasts shattering ranks of droids. Anakin leapt atop a tank, tearing through its armor. Aayla spun into the next line, striking with precision. When the node fell, the droids collapsed, leaving the clones alive but shaken. That night, under the glow of Felucia's strange trees, their bond shifted. You were ready to die for them, Aayla said quietly. They're not just soldiers, Anakin replied. They feel, they dream. They deserve more than being tools. Aayla frowned. The code tells us not to form attachments. But how do we protect people if we don't care for them? No answer came, but something unspoken lingered between them. As the campaign dragged on, so did their closeness. Planning strategies turned into shared meals. Quiet talks replaced silence. Anakin spoke of his mother and the weight of being the chosen one. Aayla spoke of Quinlan Vos, of learning to steady her emotions. One evening, stars faint above the canopy. Anakin sat awake at the camp's edge. Aayla approached. Can't sleep? Too many choices? Too many voices, he said. You're not alone in that. She placed a hand lightly over his. For a moment, neither moved. Then they leaned closer and kissed. Soft, hesitant, brief. When they pulled apart, Aayla whispered, "That was a mistake." Anakin nodded. "I know." But as she returned to her tent and he remained staring at the stars, both knew the truth. It would not be the last time. The war didn't slow. System after system fell into chaos, and Anakin Skywalker and Aayla Secura kept being assigned together. The Council saw how well they fought side by side. What the Council didn't see, or refused to see, was what grew between them in the quiet hours between battles. At first they called it friendship. Jedi supported each other. That was the code. But their connection went deeper. Aayla did something no one else could. She let Anakin feel without shame. When his anger flared, she steadied him. When nightmares shook him awake, she sat with him until he could breathe again. During one mission near Ryloth, they took shelter in the ruins of an outpost. The stars were sharp above them, the clones asleep nearby. Anakin's voice was low, almost broken. I was a slave. Until Qui-Gon found me. Obi-Wan. He doesn't understand what that means. Aayla rested a hand on his. No child should live that life. But you're still standing, still fighting. That strength is yours. You make it easier, he admitted. Being around you keeps me steady. That night changed them. Aayla, too, confessed doubts about the Jedi Code. How can we say we protect peace if we're forbidden to care for the people we protect? Anakin's reply was quiet but sharp. The code says attachment is dangerous, but maybe emptiness is worse. They didn't say the word love, not yet, but it filled the air between them, heavy and real. On Coruscant, Padme Amidala noticed the change. She saw the way Aayla lingered close to Anakin, and the way he looked at her when she wasn't watching. During a private moment, she warned Aayla gently, "People talk. The council listens. Be careful. Aayla only smiled faintly and changed the subject. Others noticed too. Far more dangerous eyes. Count Dooku's spies reported whispers of 2 Jedi growing too close. At first, Dooku dismissed it. Jedi breaking the code was not new. But when the name was Skywalker, he paid attention. Passion made Skywalker powerful and unstable. That instability could be shaped. Dooku passed word to his master. Darth Sidious listened with interest. He had always planned to use Anakin's fear of losing those he loved to bend him to the dark side. He once thought it would be Padme Amidala. But now, with Aayla, the hook was even sharper. Love is more dangerous than hate, Sidious murmured. Fear of loss is the surest path. From that moment, Palpatine changed his game. His conversations with Anakin shifted, probing questions about loyalty, about trust, about whether the Jedi cared more for rules than for people. Quietly, he ensured that Ayla's assignments always aligned with Anakin's. Their bond had to grow stronger, because when the moment came, he would tear it apart. The war pressed on, but the battlefield was no longer the only place the fight was being waged. In the shadows of the Republic, Sidious was setting the stage. And the bond between Anakin Skywalker and Aayla Secura, stronger than either of them admitted, was the weapon he would use to bring the Jedi Order down. The war raged on, but Anakin Skywalker fought with a new purpose, to keep Aayla Secura alive. It began with a dream. Smoke. Blaster fire. Ayla's voice calling out, fading. Then silence, her hand outstretched, lifeless. Anakin woke, gasping, certain it was more than a dream. The Force had shown him something. The visions returned night after night, sharper each time. Fear crept into every choice he made. He requested her assignments. He demanded to be sent where she was. Even Obi-Wan noticed. "You're acting like a man possessed," Obi-Wan said during a briefing. "I'm keeping people alive," Anakin snapped, his eyes fixed on the holomap. "This isn't strategy," Obi-Wan replied. "It's about her, isn't it?" Later, in private, Obi-Wan pressed harder. "You've broken the code." Anakin's reply came sharp, almost desperate. "She grounds me. Without her, I'd lose control. And if the Council finds out, they won't protect her, Anakin. They'll treat her as a criminal. They'd punish her for caring, for feeling." His voice rose, breaking. "I want to protect you both," Obi-Wan said softly. "But if this path continues, you may lose everything." The words drove a wedge between them. Anakin turned further from his old master, clinging tighter to Aayla. She noticed the change. She saw the way his hands shook after battle, the way his embrace clung to her as though she might vanish. "You've seen something?" she said one night. He nodded, eyes haunted. "You die. Over and over. I can't let it happen. You should speak to the Council," she urged. "Maybe it's symbolic. Maybe it's not meant to come true and they take you from me," he growled. "They'd exile you. I've seen what happens to those who cross the code." "Then let me face it," she whispered. "I'd rather risk myself than watch fear consume you." But he couldn't let go. Far above them, Sidious moved his pieces. He arranged a private summons for Aayla. In the Chancellor's office, the sunset cast long shadows across the floor. "Master Secura," Palpatine said warmly, "your service has been invaluable." At first they spoke of troop movements, but slowly his tone shifted. "Some say the Jedi grow too distant," he mused. "Too cold, too unwilling to feel compassion. What do you think?" Aayla kept her face still. "You've worked closely with Skywalker," Palpatine went on, voice soft. "He's powerful, oh yes, but he needs someone steady. Someone who cares." Her breath caught, just slightly. "I see how he looks at you," Palpatine said with a faint smile. "Rare's the Jedi who finds true understanding." "Chancellor," she said quickly, "this is not a conversation I should be having." "Of course," he replied smoothly. "I only hope the Jedi will learn to change before they destroy what is pure." Aayla left unsettled. He had said too much, probed too deep. He found Anakin waiting, pacing. "I felt something," he said. "What happened?" She told him. The words, the look, the way Palpatine seemed to know. Anakin's face hardened. Fear hollowed his eyes. He's going to use this. I know it. And in that moment, they both understood. Love had become a weapon, and the trap was already closing. Palpatine did not need armies to break the Jedi. He needed whispers. It began with a forged transmission, proving that Aayla Secura had leaked Republic battle plans. The data was careful, audio files twisted, records altered, enough to cast doubt, enough to poison trust. Soon after, both Anakin and Aayla were recalled to Coruscant. Officially, it was for reassignment. In truth, it was isolation. The Council avoids me, Aayla whispered one evening. They cancel meetings, cut me out of briefings. They don't trust you, Anakin said grimly. And if they don't trust you, they don't trust me either. Then came the summons. The High Council chamber loomed cold, its circle of masters surrounding Aayla like a tribunal. Mace Windu read the charges. Unauthorized contact with separatists, endangering the Republic, violation of the Jedi Code. Aayla stood tall. I have done nothing but serve the order. If I'm being judged for caring about a fellow Jedi, say so. Do not hide behind lies. The silence that followed was heavy. Then came the verdict. Stripped of command, confined until investigation. As temple guards took her arms, the chamber doors burst open. Anakin strode in, fury burning in his eyes. You lied to me, he shouted. You said we were family. And you betray her on forged words? Anakin, calm yourself, Windu ordered. No. You're afraid of what you don't understand. That isn't justice. It's weakness. Windu's reply was cold. She must answer for her actions. And if you follow this path, so will you. Anakin's hand went to his saber. For a heartbeat, no one moved. A guard stepped forward first. The clash came fast. Anakin deflected, struck back, and the man fell. Gasps echoed as the chamber erupted into chaos. Masters moved to subdue him, but his strikes came faster, sharper, fueled by grief and rage. Kit Fisto staggered back. Aegon Kolar fell. Anakin, stop! Aayla cried, still bound. Her voice cut through just enough. He slashed the locks from her restraints and pulled her close. Come with me. We can't stay here. They've turned against us. For a moment, she hesitated. Then, seeing the blood on the floor, she went with him. Outside the temple, the galaxy was already shifting. Palpatine stood before the Senate, his voice grave, his words carefully chosen.
Today the Jedi betrayed us. They sought to destroy one of their own on false charges. And when confronted, Skywalker struck down masters of the Council itself. The Jedi are no longer guardians of peace. They are a threat to it.
The chamber erupted. Fear spread faster than truth. And with those words, the Republic became an empire. Not by fire, but by fear. Anakin and Aayla fled into the shadows, joined by a handful of clone troopers who had seen the Council's judgment and no longer trusted it. Now, fugitives, they crossed the Outer Rim, taking shelter in abandoned bases and the ruins of war. Anakin was changed. His rage toward the Council burned deep, guilt twisting with grief. Yet he had not fallen to the Sith. Not yet. Aayla, holding to her compassion, refused to let him slip fully into darkness. You made a terrible choice, she whispered one night on Ossus. But you were not lost. They were going to kill you, he growled. You stopped them. But you don't have to become what they feared. Anakin turned away, uncertain if he believed her. And in the shadows of Coruscant, Sidious smiled. He hadn't needed to push Anakin to the dark side. The Jedi had done it for him. The galaxy had changed. The Senate now bowed to Palpatine, and the Republic was renamed the Empire. The Jedi Temple lay scarred, many masters dead, the Order broken. And across the stars, Anakin Skywalker and Aayla Secura were fugitives, symbols of everything the Council had feared. But Sidious was not satisfied. He wanted Anakin fully. The summons came like a whisper in the Force, leading them back to Coruscant. Against Ayla's protests, Anakin insisted. If we run forever, he wins. I need to face him. They entered the Chancellor's private chambers, but it was no statesman who greeted them. Sidious shed his mask, his voice a rasp of triumph. Skywalker, you've already begun. You struck down your masters. You rejected their chains. Now, Take your place at my side. Anakin's jaw tightened. You tricked them. You turned them against us. I revealed their hypocrisy. Sidious hissed. They feared your power. They feared your love. His gaze flicked to Aayla, and that fear destroyed them. Aayla stepped forward, her saber igniting. You won't twist him. Sidious sneered. Ah, the weakness he clings to. Lightning burst from his hands. Aayla deflected, sparks crackling, but the force of it hurled her back. Anakin charged, sabers clashing in a storm of red and blue. The duel raged through shattered glass and burning drapes. Anakin's strikes wild with fury. Sidious answering with cold precision. But Sidious knew the true weapon wasn't his blade. It was Anakin's fear. Every vision you saw, Sidious taunted, was the Force showing you truth. She will die, unless you seize the power to save her. Aayla, battered, called out through the clash. Anakin, don't listen. Power won't save me. Compassion will. For a heartbeat, he froze. He saw her falling. He saw her gone. His chest tore with the weight of choice. Sidious pressed harder, lightning ripping into Ayla's chest. She screamed, collapsing. Anakin's rage exploded. He disarmed Sidious with a flurry of strikes, blade at his throat. The Sith Lord's final words were a whisper of triumph. Yes, let your hate guide you. But Anakin stopped. His saber hummed, inches from the kill. His eyes flicked to Aayla, her breath shallow, her hand reaching for his. No, Anakin said, voice breaking. I'm done being your pawn. He shifted, driving the blade clean through Sidious. The Sith Lord crumpled, his scream echoing into silence. Anakin rushed to Ayla's side. Her burns were deep, her pulse fading. He cradled her as she smiled faintly. You chose the light, she whispered. Stay with me, he begged. Please, Aayla, don't leave me. Her hand touched his cheek. You'll find balance, even without me. Then she was gone. Anakin held her until dawn broke over Coruscant. Her death broke him, but it also freed him. He did not return to the Jedi, nor did he embrace the Sith. Instead, he began anew. In shattered worlds, he gathered outcasts, younglings, and survivors. He taught them not as Jedi or Sith, but as something else. An order built on balance, born from love and loss. Thus Anakin Skywalker lived on as a scarred man who had lost everything, yet still found the will to guide others toward the light.